live.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Let's see that. All right. Everyone sees all your folders, buddy. I hope you don't have anything compromising in there.
That's literally just the GZ Doom and then the Ashes folder.
Hello.
So all I'm going to do is drag it over. Can you hear me? Can you hear me Can you hear me in the stream or no?
I don't have volume on the stream.
Okay, because I have push to talk for Discord, but I should be live streaming my voice right now.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Sorry, there we go. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the game, and you can make the announcement.
Yeah, you're live, so let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, everyone can hear us, so that's perfect.
Yay! There we go.
Yeah, everyone say hi to my wonderful lady friend. That's not the proper word. I should refer to you with lady friend. How long do you think my neck beard is for that?
Super long.
Oh shit, I can't hear Joe anymore.
Well, I'm talking during the stream, so let me turn push to talk off, and I'll do that. Give me a second.
Yeah, just turn push to talk off. I want to hear everything you say. All right.
All right, that should work now.
All right, so do you have all your shots lined up? Because I'm going to heckle you, and every time you die, you have to take shots.
I don't know, this should be fun.
Hello, everybody. I am, game volume is pretty high, Joe says now.
I'm turning it down now.
All right. So hello, everybody. Welcome to this Q&A and gaming stream. Joe is going to be the one doing the gaming. I'm Eric, and I'm just going to be here in the background, a disembodied voice speaking and heckling Joe, and also answering questions. So yeah. I have a bunch of questions pre-staged, and in addition to the pre-staged questions, I will also be taking questions from the chat here. So...
yeah, so I have to send this to a family member real quick here so they can also heckle me. Should be good. My dad wanted to watch me stream. I'm like, okay, buddy.
Your dad wants to watch? That's horrible.
Oh.
Tamarin Hoyt asks if anyone is going to that Desert Fox event in PA. I will be going. I'm actually leading the tan team for that.
And I'll be drinking my black and tans because I'm not going.
Yeah, Joe. Sucks. Everyone press F in the chat for Joe.
Mashup. So, I've been drinking beer all day, and here's the rules for this stream, because this is only fun for me if I'm playing video games this way, so, we have my friend Johnny, and we have this, and I'm gonna be playing on the survival hard difficulty, and if I die, I take a shot. I'm fucking dead. I'm so fucking dead.
Yeah, you're gonna die. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna die.
This is the chat where we kill Joe.
Just prep those Fs, because we're gonna need it. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, quick overview. Ashes 2063 is a Doom mod made by some very talented people who are in the background, designed by that Russian dude. It's a really awesome game. It's a post-apocalyptic game, first-person shooter. It's a wonderful mod. It uses Duke Nukem, Doom, and I think some Blood assets a little bit. If you're big into the modding community, you should definitely know about this game. If you're not, if you don't know anything about Doom mods or anything else, this is like premier. This is cream of the crop game. I've beaten this game, and it's fan-made expansion. There was an episode made strictly by not even people who made this game, which was also wonderful. And we're going to jump right into it, and Eric, at this point, I'll just play, and you just talk, and let me know when questions and other stuff come up.
Sounds awesome.
So this is also because of the Omega games. I wanted to play this because of our upcoming Omega games and the post-apocalyptic thing. So.
And you missed Desolation 2, which is just awful.
Okay.
Wow. Joe's life sucks, everyone, if you haven't put that together. So, here we go. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna start going with questions while you're getting us all set. Christopher Cole asks, "What airsoft sidearm do you run?" Lately, Chris, I've been mostly running my Race Stout High Kappa, and I'm gonna be doing a video on that High Kappa pretty shortly here. So that should be a good time. And but other than that, I have a VFC Elite Force Glock that I'm putting through its paces right now. Finally, actually getting a review of that going, hopefully, rather than just the initial overview we did. That should be ready for too long. It's okay if you had to ask for my impressions right now. And Joe, what sidearm do you usually run?
I usually have a oh wow, low on health already. I have a WE Tech 226, Navy SEAL, like the Navy one with the actual markings on it, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, I'm normally running that WE, or I actually have a KSC Glock that I've been running a lot lately.
Yeah, is that the one you had like ridiculously engraved for that black powder red earth kit that you still need to do a video on?
I haven't actually engraved the Glock yet. That is high on the list. I had the rifle engraved, but the Glock is next on the list. And if you just search in Cold Harbor Special Projects Glock, it'll show up. It's very hot. It's super hot.
Pay me no mind. I'm disobeying your orders, buddy. But Pay Me No Mind asks, so how many of the gun gamers will be at DFE next month? Well, if I had to guess, like, the total crew that's going to be out there, shit, do we have, like, 8 to 10?
Something crazy like that, yeah.
I think we've got 8 to 10 members of the team all coming out to that. So, it should be a good showing. You got me, you got Kyle, you got Garrett, you got Corey, you got, not Joe, because Joe sucks. You got the, Chris and his son. You got there's more that I'm definitely freaking. Lutz and Becca, I believe, are going. Jim, I think, is going. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Let's see. Any other questions in the chat, or should I start going to the questions I collected beforehand? Philip Trong is apparently watching from Southeast Asia, so that's fucking ridiculous.
No, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for coming. Then, okay, those are all the questions I see right now. Oh, have you guys ever considered trying attending any Milsim games in North Carolina? I've gone to some games in South Carolina at the GTI. As for North Carolina, I was supposed to go to a game in North Carolina last year, and then I had I had my brother's bachelor party come up, which, I mean, if I'm putting my priorities together, I think I picked the right choice. But then let's see. Let's go to some of the fan submitted, not fan submitted. I hate calling people fans, but let's go to some of the viewer submitted questions. One of the questions I got, which is a personal favorite question, so I want to hit it first, is for the stream, this is Mad Max on Discord.
Good name, excellent name, good call.
Yeah, perfect for this stream, really. And he says, for the stream, I'd like to hear a top 5 metal list to get pumped before a game. I know you've kind of touched on it before, but I need to go further into the darkness.
We need to go deeper.
Closest I get to metal is Iron Maiden and Dropkick Murphys, which, first of all, I am not going to shit on Iron Maiden and Dropkick Murphys. Those are both excellent choices.
But is Dropkick Murphys really metal? It's good hard rock, but I wouldn't call it metal.
That's like pub rock. But, I mean, is there anything wrong with pub rock, really?
No, not at all.
Yeah. No, but, so, if you're like, what would be a good stepping stone from Iron Maiden and Dropkick Murphys? Because, like, I can go real extreme, like, Antithetical by Organectomy certainly gets me hyped for a game, but I feel like most people hear burp vocals and slam riffs for 4 minutes straight and think, wow, what? But I think that's a good one. Like, so one of my recent number ones would definitely be Antithetical by Organectomy. That's a really good hype song. Another good hype song is probably Beast by the Acacia Strain. Like, you can't hear that crushing fucking chuggy riff and those ridiculous just barked vocals from Vincent Bennett about how much he hates life and not think, wow, I want to go shoot a bunch of people right now.
I mean,
Airsoft
BBs.
shoot a bunch of
with
people.
Clarify with BBs.
But yeah, that's a good one. And that like, the Acacia Strain leans more into like hardcore influence as well. And speaking of hardcore, I think another good hype song would probably be "Who Invited the Russian Soldier" by Every Time I Die.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, no, Every Time I Die is real good.
So I saw them
Buffalo.
live, and their live show is boy, I know.
Yeah, and Every Time I Die is from Buffalo, so I gotta shout them out.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're from Buffalo. So speaking, so that's 3. Then let's see. What's another good classic hype song? I feel like another good classic hype song. Oh, this is not classic, and this is like barely metal. "Suffocate" by Traitors. Like, Traitors.
Give me better than that. It's not bad. Just give me better than that.
Can be better than that? All right. I mean, it hypes me up. Another one.
Can we talk about Haste the Day?
I've never really listened to Haste the Day seriously.
Huh. Well, you're allowed to be wrong. No, I'm not covered.
So all right. I got to give a shout out to a band I just adore. And this is going to earn me some probably snarky comments in the chat here. But I think that, and granted, it's all about misanthropy, but Manufactured Extinct by Cattle Decapitation really,
of course
that gets the blood pumping.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then the last one, and you're going to agree with me on this one, Bleed by Meshuggah.
Yes, Daddy Legs.
Yeah, Bleed by Meshuggah. That's a great fucking song. That's gent. That's good shit. Anyone who doesn't like Meshuggah, if you got a problem with Meshuggah, you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one marinate. All right. I took a long time answering that question, but I'm going to read the chat, see if I missed any. Oh, did anyone ask if you guys are going to Bad Blood? I think Kyle is going to.
Kyle is definitely going to Bad Blood.
Yeah, Kyle and Amy are going to Bad Blood, and that's about it. I am actually going this weekend to Boston to get hammered with my brothers to, just get hammered with my brothers and celebrate my parents' anniversary. And I'm actually going to be doing a tour of either the Harpoon or Sam Adams Brewery. I forgot which one.
So you see this? You see, I'm actually physically making ammo right now on this old refinery. And I can just imagine my character. I'm just basically sitting here like, put this in my inventory. So, yeah, for those of you that have sort of wondering what the fuck I'm doing right now, not to upset Eric's thunder here, but this is basically like an old Walmart, except it's not quite Walmart. These are guys that apparently sold groceries, guns, and ammo. That was their thing back in the day.
So it's Walmart.
Yeah. I forgot you can get up there.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's see. Do you work on your guns or do you have a tech on your team? So I actually work on like basic stuff on my guns, but if I have to do anything real advanced, my buddy Nathan, he's actually on YouTube as DRZ Productions. I have him do a lot of my gun work.
He paints like Michelangelo. He's the Michelangelo of the paint.
He's also he is also really good at painting guns. But like if I just need to repair an M4 gearbox or do a spring swap or do anything hop-up related, then yeah, I can do that. But if I need to Dremel a gearbox to install a Gate Titan, I don't actually have a Dremel in my apartment, and I don't trust myself with electronics, so I just say, hey, Nathan, I'll give you beer and money, and then he usually does it for me.
Yeah, he painted my gun, he did a bunch of work to it, which is phenomenal. I mean, I think I work on all my gas guns, for sure, and I'm pretty competent at that. Like, I know Garrett fabricates his own parts, so there's a bit of a, Eric and I do a little bit of work on our guns, and then Garrett makes his own stuff, so, Yeah.
I do work on my gas guns, though. Like, I built my High Kappa because I just wanted to have it the way I wanted it, and I could do it. And I actually thought that was pretty simple, building a High Kappa. After doing it, I don't necessarily understand why a lot of people say it's that hard, but I also used, like, all Airsoft Masterpiece parts, so there was, like, no fitting required, which made my life really easy.
Thank you. First level down.
Yeah, you made it. All right.
Haven't died yet.
So, have you heard about Battlecat Sports? I have not heard about Battlecat Sports.
You should tell us more about that.
let's get to another question from the Discord. I'm gonna hit the Discord questions while I'm at it.
Yeah,
One of the guys in the Discord, he asked, "Why does Milsim West ban rubber knives for safety reasons, but allow blank fire for blank fire?" And
well, let's be really okay. So if you have
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's fair.
Well, I mean, yes and no. The blank fire thing is you know, yeah, I can see it in close range being kind of dangerous, but I think it's more dangerous for someone to try and physically touch somebody and like poke them with a rubber knife. You know what I mean? Like you can hurt somebody if you jab them in the side with that. You can break a rib. Plus, physical altercations are more likely to escalate during Milsim games. By a lot, or really any airsoft game. So blank fire is inherently dangerous. There are things about it that are dangerous, but I think physical contact is really what they're avoiding. It's not so much about the rubber knives. It's you're not supposed to get in contact with other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the fact that blank fire is usually used at a long distance is kind of the thing that makes it a little bit less risky. And I also think that blank fire is harder. Everyone looks at the Brandon Lee story as the example of why blank fire is dangerous and don't look at what happened to make that story happen, in my opinion. Because that was the result of a whole lot of unsafe practices that all came together to make that happen.
Yeah.
But whereas rubber knives, I personally don't care one way or the other. I actually like Omega's system where you can use, different levels of LARP weapons for different levels of melee combat. I'm down with that, but I'm sure when you've got a lot of people together in a space who aren't quite expecting melee combat, they don't really know that that's what they're signing up for. I could definitely see the argument that it would cause physical altercations. I personally don't agree with that. I think everyone I've run into at Milsim West games tended to be more chill than allowing that to happen. But I'm sure that that's the logic behind it. Let's see. Matija Vinaza, I probably fucked that up super hard.
I could tell you fucked that up. I'm not even looking at it.
Yeah, he said, "How often do new guns come out? Do you think Crytek Mark III is coming out anytime soon?" Well, I mean, new guns are coming out all the time, not just from Crytek.
Hell, new companies at this point. Arcturus just started releasing their stuff.
Yeah, I mean, new guns come out all the time. In Airsoft, I doubt if there's too many weeks where something new doesn't come out somewhere. But as for the Crytek Mark III, all I can say is that when they're ready to release the information on it, you will hear the information on it. I can't say more than that. What helmets do you run? I run a Team Wendy Exfil LTP. What do you run, Joe?
That's because Eric has money. I actually run an FMA, one of the carbon fiber ones they did, the Aramid fibers. So it's a little bit more robust than your standard plastic helmet. But that's what I typically run, or I actually have an ACH, like a real one that I run.
Yeah. Several members of the Gun Gamers team run ACHs for just nods use. But I'm usually a ball cap kind of guy. I don't run helmets that often. I basically have my helmet for nods use.
Yeah, I'm 99% of DRZ just released their Masato Part 3, and if you watch that, I'm wearing a ball cap for the majority of that as well.
Yeah.
Helmets serve their purpose, but ultimately, unless you're mandated to have it for whatever reason, you're gonna find soft cover to be just a lot more comfortable over a long period of time.
Giannis Cadis asks, if you were one of the two last people on Earth, who would you want to be stuck with? Well, I mean, considering she's in the room, I would have to say I would want to be stuck with my wonderful girlfriend.
Oh, who the fuck am I? Jesus. Wow, that hurt. That really hurt, Eric. I was going to say you, and then you just went ahead and picked your girlfriend. Of course.
Oh, she wouldn't pick your wife? Oh, yeah. The silence speaks volumes for you.
Anyway.
So...
Can you not see my face in the corner of the screen?
Let's see. Thoughts on the Elite Force M9A3? Well, Kyle had some bad luck with his Elite Force M9. a part just decided to fall out, and then the whole gun came apart. So that's no good.
So it was easy to disassemble on the field.
Yeah, it was very easy to disassemble. It was just harder to, put back together. Anyway. Wow. This is an interesting question. Gonna just get rid of that. Let's see. Other questions that have been asked. I think Alex from Omega actually asked a good question. Yeah, he did. So this is from Alex of Omega Productions. He said, here's a question/discussion topic. What do you think is a realistic distance to travel for Airsoft, taking into account the size or scale of the event?
I've done 19 hours down to Georgia from Connecticut for Milsim West.
Yeah, you did that by yourself, too.
Yeah, like an idiot. And I will say that was too much. So I would say the maximum I'm willing to do by myself is about a 12-hour drive at the most. And that better be for a full big game and a lot of booze.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've driven up to like 18 hours. And I have felt that was worth it. I've driven 18 hours twice. I drove to Camp Shelby twice. Once for Desert Fox event, Southern Strike, and the other time for Milsim West, Chechen Collapse. I would only do that, though, if the game I was going to was a game that I really knew I was going to have fun at the whole time, and I was seeing a lot of friends, and I had friends with me to make the trip not suck.
Yeah.
So I would drive up to 18 hours with a group of friends in the car to go meet up with more friends for a game I know will be fun for the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. Other than that, I'm not driving 18 hours. I will happily drive 8 to 10 hours, though. Like, I consider that to be rookie numbers for a weekend game. Or I drive 5 hours, Saturday morning to go hang out with you for Saturday night and then play at Ground Zero and then drive home Sunday. Like, 5 or 6 hours, I'll drive that, for a day or two. But if I'm driving like for a normal open play, I don't want to drive more than like 2 or 3 hours. But if it's a full weekend, I'll drive a long way. I just like flying, though, better than driving if I can, if I have the option.
See, there's the problem, though, of bringing your gear and your guns on the, like, checking your bags and your stuff, and that becomes its own situation of itself, Yeah,
there's a few good videos on it you can check out, but not one of ours. We don't have a good video on it.
Not one of ours. Yeah. Cool, what else we got?
Let's see. What projects are you working on? Well, I've got a CIA kit I'm working on. It's pretty much
you and like 5 other people.
That's true. Yeah, I'm working on a CIA kit right now. That's pretty much done once I get the raid top for it, so that'll be dope. That's actually what I'm going to wear to Desert Fox events, is my CIA kit.
We also nicknamed that the Game Destabilization Kit.
Yeah.
The goal is for us to really be us.
Yeah, we're going to destabilize Airsoft like a developing nation. That's a little bit of a CIA joke for you hip kids. Gsofter556, this is a good question because I got to answer this to make sure people know what the deal is. Do you use the issued .25 gram BBs in MSW games, or do you bring your own? You are not allowed to bring your own ammo to Milsim West unless you are willing to surrender that ammo to the chain of command to possibly be distributed to you later.
Yeah, so basically if you're like, oh, my extra super special HBA gun must use this kind of ammo. Okay, well, maybe you'll see that during a resupply. Yeah.
But no one does that because the odds of them actually being able to logistically get you that specialty ammo, it sucks. You're better off asking for the 3.2s. A lot of people don't know you can ask for 3.2s. A lot of people don't know you can ask for tracers.
Yeah, and they will give you, the only thing I want to shout for that is, I fucking hate this part. If you, have a special, like one of the Ace Tech tracers, they can only use certain colors. If you're on NATO, I think NATO gets green tracers and Rust 4 gets red tracers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or
I think
vice versa?
I think they're G&G pink tracers actually now.
Pink, red, when it's flying at you at 400 feet per second, you don't know the difference.
Yeah. But yeah, you can ask for 2 5s or 3 2s, and you can ask for tracers. So you can get heavier ammo than the 2 5s that are issued, if that's your concern. But you cannot bring your own ammo unless you are willing to surrender it to the chain of command to be distributed to you via the supply line. And that's just a huge pain that no one does. I literally have yet to see anyone do that. How you handling country time withdrawal? Wasteland Armory said. You know what, man? It took me a couple of days to get clean, but now I'm back to my usual addiction of Diet Dr. Pepper and whiskey. So I think I've made it. I think I'm doing okay. When is more Speed Sim coming out? I have a video from Amy on the primary Airsoft M4 adapter for high kappas. That is actually going to be dropping tomorrow. Other than that, we need to film more Speed Sim yet. Schedules have been crazy, lives have been crazy, so we haven't been filming as much, but we will have more Speed Sim either next week or the week after, most likely. And there will be that primary Airsoft adapter this week, so you will see more of Amy on the channel very shortly. Is the Alpha Crytek CRB a good gun? Yeah, it's fine. It's not as good as the normal Crytek's, in my opinion, because the motor is weaker because it's pulling the 1 joule spring, and it is at 1 joule out of the box. But if you don't mind that it shoots 1 joule, like you're using it for CQB, then
you mean
yeah,
you're using the tiny barreled CQB gun for CQB?
Yeah, right. It's a crazy concept. Let's see. Question, will an Umbrella Armory drop in RHOP kit over Hot Point 3s? It shouldn't. If it's properly installed and you have a proper nub for it and you do everything right, it shouldn't over Hot Point 3s. It should be just fine. Let's see. I have one from Hop Systems that shoots 3s really well. Yeah, Shadow Ops, I have a Hop Systems drop in too, and that was able to hop like 2 5s without overhopping them. So a properly installed RHOP shouldn't overhop any BB weight. You should be able to turn it basically completely off. Get back. Let's see. We want to see you die, Lady Potato says. Yeah, why don't you die, nerd?
Because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty and I'm not cheating right now, so you're just gonna have to get used to the fact that I'm really good at this game.
You need to take a shot right now. I feel like that might make you die.
Yeah, alright, hold on.
Let's see. Still waiting for your Desolation 2 vid. We are actually shilling one live stream on another. We were going to do the Desolation 2 review stream tonight, but Corey and Garrett weren't available, and I have another guy
and why
who's
do you
actually
think they weren't available at the same time?
I don't know, lives. Anyway, so they're not available, so we're doing it tomorrow. And I also have another friend, a guy named Matt, who's going to be hopping in on that as well, who's another member of the Omega staff. So we're going to
I was going to be like, how many Matts do we have now? Fuck.
Yeah, we got a lot. I think Lutz is going to hop on too if I can convince him. But yeah, we will be able to get that going.
This one's to you, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. Timothy Twoney or Tooney, I don't fucking know. He goes, Tunis, you figure out how to say my name yet, E-House? No, I have not. There's your answer. Apex Speedsoft asks, Airsoft Masterpiece or Airsoft Surgeon for High Kappa? Airsoft Masterpiece makes awesome stuff. I've had really good luck with their stuff. Airsoft Surgeon is legendary, but Airsoft Masterpiece is dope. So I have no trouble recommending Airsoft Masterpiece.
Hey, Eric.
What's up?
Take a look at the screen.
What am I looking at?
You see the sign?
No, I did not. I was a little delayed. Oh, I'm on the delay of the yeah, I'm watching live on the I'm watching it on the YouTube stream, not on your screen. I have a little bit of a delay.
Okay, well, it's been up long enough, you'll see it.
All right. I think there. Did I get it? I can't read it. Oh, there we go. Now I'm seeing it. Hold on. Never mind. Fuck with the booze. I fuck with your face. Nice. I like it. Anyway. So, thoughts on the ARP556? Better or worse than the ARP9? Internally, it's literally the same gun. Like, the internals are literally the same. There's absolutely nothing different about the ARP556 or the ARP9. They're the same gun. One just takes M4 mags and has a normal M4 hop-up and body, and the other takes 9mm mags and has a marginally different hop-up and body setup, which is actually compatible with standard hop-up, so... Upgrading an AEG to HPA, go with Wolverine, Redline, or Polar Star. Well, Polar Star and Redline are both pretty excellent. The Redline N7 Milsim, now the Hurricane SRM, is really popular in our group because it's all mechanical, and you don't have to do anything to it in terms of battery or FCU or dwell time or anything like that. So that's really popular with our group. A lot of people really like that. If you want all mechanical, that's the way to go right now. If you want arguably the most efficient and best HPA units in general right now, Polar Star is still kind of the gold standard. Wolverine is really popular too, and they do a lot of really interesting stuff. Personally, I think the Wraith stock is the most interesting thing they make. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think they make the most interesting, CO2 stock. I think the MTW is a really interesting concept. Other than that, I would probably go Polar Star or Redline for HPA. Oh my god. Let's see. What do you think of a Rhodesian Bush War themed Milsim? I think you would attract some interesting people. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go further down that rabbit hole. I'm just gonna say, get ready to cringe a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna attract a lot of commandos that you're not gonna want at really any public location.
And a lot of people wearing short shorts who shouldn't be.
Not that there's anything wrong with
that. What is everyone's preferred power source for their airsoft guns and their favorite products for that setup?
Hate. It's pure hate.
Caffeine and hatred and whiskey is definitely the best power source. Yes, I said hatred. So, I use AEG mostly. I have Gate Titans installed in my AEGs for the most part. HPA is really cool. A lot of our guys run CO2 powered Redline N7s though, which they really like. But other than that, it's gas blowback, AEG, or CO2 powered HPA unit. So that's pretty much what we're running. Do you know the HexMag high cap speed? I have not tried the HexMag high caps. Alright, so let's start getting back into... I seem to have exhausted the chat questions right now, so let's get back into some of the other questions we got. These ones are from the Instagram. Favorite Milsim event you've been to of all time, asks Hop Up App on Instagram.
Let's get him.
Favorite Milsim event of all time? You know what? I gotta say it because it was my introduction to Milsim West, and it was a pretty dope game. And as much as I don't think it was my best Milsim West in terms of performance, it was probably still my favorite. Caspian Gap 2016. Caspian Gap was a great game. What about you, Joe? What was your favorite Milsim of all time?
That's actually a super tough one, but I would definitely say that I liked Caspian Gap.
Caspian Gap's your favorite too?
Yeah, I liked... Jeez, I don't know. I've only been to a handful, really. If you really look at my timeline here.
Yeah, Balcar Ridge is the other one you've been to, and then...
Well, I've been to Caspian Gap, I've been to Balcar Ridge, and I guess, I don't know, Caspian Gap would have been so much better if I didn't have no sleep and was sick and then drove the 19 hours. I made a lot of stupid mistakes.
But it was still a great game.
Yeah, it was still a really great game, though. Yeah, no, I'll go with Caspian Gap.
Yeah. Let's see. If you could have one firearm in the world, an infinite supply of ammo, what would it be? This guy's answer is Martini Henry. This is Mama's Boy 747 on Instagram. I mean, his answer is Martini Henry. That's a classic firearm, but, so does it have to be a gun I can legally own in New York State? Because if it has to be a gun I can legally own in New York State, then that really sucks. If it can be any gun, I think the AK-12 is really weird and stupid and interesting and wild looking. And
are you buying one from Arcturus or LCT?
Not yet, because the problem is there's no kits that use it, and
Well, the Ratnik kit.
right now they don't use the AK-12.
The Ratnik Special Forces does, as in the dudes that are like officers.
There's no current reference photos of the AK-12 in use outside of training.
Alright. I believe you. I thought it was in function already, or partially in function.
Yeah, it's really not yet. What about you? What would be your any gun infinite?
Well, yeah, no, I'm thinking about that. Jeez, what would I use? Do I have to repair it? Do I have to do replacement parts?
Let's say you have infinite replacement parts in addition to infinite ammo.
I would probably run a Mark 48 then.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I would straight run a belt fed. If I didn't have to worry about ammo or replacement parts, I would go to the range, even if it was semi-auto. It could be a semi-auto belt fed Mark 48. I'd still run it.
And we're talking about fantasies, so you know you can have whatever you want. So there you go.
So yeah, fully automatic. I'd have a Mark 48 and I'd rip 7.62 all day long.
All right, so here's a couple of more questions in the chat here. Christian Siggs asks, what would make you switch away from your Crytac? I mean, all my Crytac guns have been running for a really long time, super well, and it's been really easy to keep them going. So if that changes, if I think that there would be a gun out there that I have an easier time keeping running that I don't already have, then yeah, I would probably switch away from Crytac. Like if the next generation of VFC was like crazy amazing, I would probably switch to that. Or if I decide to go gas blowback rifle, I'm thinking about getting a Tokyo Marui MWS. So
yeah, I'm looking at a GHK right now. Eric and I have been sort of like talking about which one's better a little bit. I want to run CO2, so I don't want to do. Actually, does the MWS have CO2 mags yet?
The MWS does not have CO2 mags, but some people are doing a mod so they can actually run liquid CO2 in it.
Interesting. Okay.
Like fill the mags with liquid CO2. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think you should do another shot though. Now that you're in like a separate little area, you haven't died, so you need to do enough shots until you die and start doing more shots. We have clickbaited the viewers, Joe. Do you know that? Do you know that clickbait is against the YouTube terms of service? And I promised that you would be becoming less sober in the description, and we are clickbaiting people right now because of you.
Well, I'm still drinking my beer. I've been drinking my beer the whole time.
We're going to get our channel terminated because of you, Joe. Is that what you want? Yeah, that's what I thought, Joe. You don't want that. You don't want to get our channel terminated. You don't want to be the reason YouTube deletes us for clickbait.
I hate you.
There we go.
Alright. I want those guns.
Alright, let's see.
Yeah.
Other good questions in the stream right now, or in the chat right now. Opinion on the LCT G3. Garrett has one and is going to be doing a review of it real soon, actually. He used it for Desolation 2. I can tell you it's really well built, it shoots really well, but of course it comes shooting way too hot for most fields, and of course the magazines are super fucky and kind of bad.
They have, folks.
Yeah, it doesn't feed great. It shoots really well when it does feed, and the butt plate is a weird design, but it feels super well built externally, but you also do have to downgrade it if you actually want to use it as a rifle and not a DMR.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Are you guys coming to Bad Blood? Asked and answered. Most of us are not. How is Conor McGregor's Proper 12 whiskey? I haven't had it yet. I don't know how it is. Conor McGregor himself is an interesting individual, but you know what? I'm sure he's certainly put as much of his ego into it as he possibly could, so it's probably decent. Legit question. What's your opinion on an M4 pistol platform as a secondary? Bigger than I'd want to carry.
Yeah, no, it's secondary to what? Because if you're using like a bolt action, or if you're using a kind of a specialty DMR, or even I don't know, if you're using something weird as your primary or the thing you're going to be shooting the most, and you want to back up a rifle, I guess? Question mark. But I wouldn't necessarily think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, at that point, I would probably get something like, a smaller PDW type platform, like an MP7 or something.
Yeah.
Or an MP5K.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, that's the whole point of the pistol thing, though. You have to use a, Stanag mag, but ultimately the MP5 or the MP7 or anything else is no bigger than like a 4-inch. It depends on also if you put like a 4-inch barrel, like Andy Sanger's Scotsman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the receiver is huge, and getting a holster for it's a pain in the ass. I mean, personally, my high kappa shoots as well as a lot of PDWs, so I would just use that. Building a really nice pistol at this point is just as legitimate as using a backup rifle, in my opinion.
That's fair. So I'm about to. This whole level is a motorcycle ride. So
nice. Are you about to die a lot?
I'm going to die a lot, so we're going to start this off right.
Nice. All right. I seem to have exhausted the questions in the chat. All right, so let's do some more Instagram questions.
I hate shooting this shit.
Neon Wolf 360 asked, "What is the dankest airsoft meme you've ever seen?" Well, I mean, obviously Judy is the dankest of airsoft memes.
I don't know. You came up with a pretty spicy one today.
That's not an airsoft meme, though. That's like a Threeper meme.
A little of both,
yeah,
really.
If you want to see a good meme, go to Corey's Instagram. It's Corey_GunGamers, and I made a meme that's it's Garantham under nods. I flipped his smile upside down, and the text reads, "When the Boogaloo starts, and you and all your buddies die horribly because you're a bunch of LARPers with no good training." So, yeah, that's that's pretty spicy. Other than that, let's see. Do you think Crytek is working on a new gearbox or maybe an AK variant? I can tell you they have some stuff in the pipeline. That's all I can say. Mayflower APC or Cry JPC 2.0?
Good call. And we've had this discussion before, and I think we all settled on... most people settled on the Z-Shot, didn't they?
Well, we're talking the Cry JPC 2.0, I assume, because at this point that is cheaper than the Z-Shot one. The Z-Shot one comes with the front flap, which is nice, but I don't know. I still would go with the Mayflower APC because I think it's a more comfortable carrier than the JPC. I think the Mayflower APC, especially the OP Tactical Edition with the air mesh lining, pretty dank. I love that. Any other good questions in the chat? What about a shotgun secondary? Well, that's Tamron Hoyt asking. You've got some experience with shotgun secondaries, Joe.
I do. So I had a Tokyo Marine Breacher, and I absolutely love that gun. I sold it to Steve because I wound up not using it as much as I want to outside of CQB environments, and it was bulky. I still really never found a great way of carrying it. Is the best way I can describe it. So it wound up knocking my knees more than it helped me right now. If you have a proper way of carrying it, and if you're not running like an APS or something or a PPS that takes shells, and you know the extra bulk of the shells, if you have a Tokyo Marine, you can stick 2-3 shells and you would have 60 rounds of ammo. Yeah, I could definitely see me around a secondary or tertiary. Just understand that you're going to have to actively know when to pull that out and do something with it, because, especially on outdoor fields, you're better off. A rifle will always beat a shotgun at medium to long range every time. So if you're doing a Milsim game or something like that, where you're going to be doing a lot of building clearing, where you're going to think you're really going to be pulling it out a lot, I think you might find some good uses for it. But for like regular normal game use, it's awfully bulky and takes up a lot of room and a lot of weight. You're better off switching your weapon to your rifle to single shot and just clearing a room that way.
All right, well there you go. So shotgun secondary has its uses, but generally speaking, not really your thing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it again. If I could do a master key, I absolutely would do that in a heartbeat. If I could do a master key on my Scar or my M4 runs, I would 100% run a shotgun on that for that, because then it's all right there and easy to use, you know.
Yeah. Let's see. Patrick Pack, what are your thoughts about flip-up magnifiers, like the ones paired with EOTechs? Do you use a flip-up magnifier, Joe?
I do, and I've used it. I love mine. I highly recommend them. I think they're great. It very good for outdoor fields for sure. What you'll wind up finding is you have to remember it's there. Kind of like the shotgun, you have to kind of remember it's there a little bit.
Uh-oh, did you die? Well, here it goes.
This is my third shot because of your incessant whining.
Yeah, I am a whiner. That's what I do.
I tried to put the cap on the shot glass. Ugh. I don't remember. Oh no. I don't.
The best part is you're gonna keep dying now. And it's gonna be
no,
great.
The best part is I have to go back to the beginning of the level because I didn't save.
Oh, that sucks.
All right,
more times to die.
Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
You were talking about flip-up magnifiers.
Right. It's really good for like mid to long range, and you can use the magnifier one of two ways. If you have a really, really accurate rifle, like you're sure that you can shoot out the longer ranges, you will use it when you have time to take those long-range shots. The other thing it's really great for is essentially having a little binocular. Being able to flip that magnifier and being like, is that a dude, is not a dude? You'd be surprised the number of times I've been like, hey, I can definitely take a shot at that, because I've just been able to quickly flip the magnifier and then flip it back over. So I have found them to be very, very useful once you get used to having them there and knowing that you can use that.
Well, I am going to counter you by saying I don't generally find magnified optics that useful in airsoft, but that's just because of the way I prefer to shoot and I prefer to do my scouting and whatnot. I don't like magnified optics. I prefer red dots, and I will admit I definitely use the people who have magnified optics as a crutch, so I don't have to do my own scouting. So
there you go. Eric's like, it's useful, but not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
It does add some weight to your rifle, I'll tell you that right now, or whatever you're using. You'd be surprised how much it can add to it. So yeah, that's
Joe,
something.
You're driving. I can really tell that you've been drinking.
It's fine. I didn't crash. Everything's fine.
Opinion on magnifier versus low power variable optic. Personally, if I was going with a magnified optic, I would go with a low power variable optic, like a 1-4 or 1-6. That would be my preference.
Same thing. I had a Spectre DX, so I could do the 1-4 real fast, and I had a red dot on top of it. I love that combo. That's probably one of the best combos in my opinion. It's very bulky and heavy, but it really gives you the opportunity to use pretty much anything. I would often set the magnifier to 4x and then switch the red dot quickly. But there were times where if I had time to set up, I'd switch over to the 1x and have plenty of time to line up my shots, and that worked out real well. But again, that's an expensive, heavy combination.
Someone in the chat right now says Top Shots 11. He says, I'm weird. I like to use 3x scopes in CQB. I mean, I wouldn't do that myself, but if you find that it works, who am I to tell you not to do it? Like, if it's not stupid if it works, personally.
Right.
That's how I view it.
No, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I have seen people do that and do it successfully. So you know what? More power to them.
Yeah. I Like Korean Girls asks, just curious, how many slings each of you own?
3.
Well,
maybe 3.
Dude, that's rookie numbers, man. You got to get those numbers up.
No, I don't. At all.
I have.
Well, you have your Glorious VTAC.
I have 3 or 4 Glorious VTAC slings. I have 2 LBX slings, and I have 2 AK slings. So I'm at like I'm at like 8 slings.
I love that you can only have one sling on a rifle at a time. That's really the best part of that.
Well, because I have a sling on every rifle. I don't move slings back and forth. I just have the sling mounted on the rifle, and that's what I do. So I have a lot of slings because I have different slings on every rifle. And sometimes I have extra slings too, because, you know, why not? 1 is none, 2 is 1.
All right, buddy.
What would you recommend for a light machine gun? The A&K light machine guns are the ones that are really accessible, but you do need to do some work to them to make them truly viable and reliable, which is the one weak part about them.
Personally, I have a Classic Army Mark II that I converted down to a Mark 46 with the Type 4 and a Crytek bucking, and I love that gun. I've been using it for, 4 or 5 years now. I've virtually done nothing to it other than those 2 internal upgrades, and that thing just rips.
Yeah, the Classic Army machine guns are pretty reliable right out of the box these days. I know the Stoner LMG from Classic Army is pretty well liked. I also know that the G&P Mark 23, that's the older Stoner LMG, that one is pretty damn good.
Yeah, very reliable, very robust.
Yeah. I like the Crytek LMG, but the box mag kind of sucks. It's fine, but it's not as good of a box mag design as a lot of other ones. I like my A&K PKM after I had AJ's Tactical Airsoft work on it. You are driving so badly right now.
Shh, it's fine. Oh, that did not work! Oh!
Oh, man. Anyway.
It's fine.
Any Slingster users? I've never actually used the Faro Concept Slingster, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm stuck on Viking Tactics, and it's what I'm familiar with, so it's what I like best. Oh, wait, I forgot I have a Vickers Tactical Sling, so that puts me at 9 slings, I think.
God damn it.
Yeah. Do you use frag grenades, and if so, which ones work best for you? The TLSFX frag grenades and the TAG frag grenades are amazing.
I will tell you right now, though, that the T... I can never get that acronym right, even when I'm sober. The tagging grenades. I crushed one because I had it in a pouch and I rolled on it, and it just straight crushed.
That's all of them. Any of the frag grenades that are pyro will do that. That's just inevitable.
Yeah. But in reliability-wise, both the ones that Eric mentioned, as long as you get I like the ones that actually do have the proper pull ring as opposed to and a spool, as opposed to the rip ring ones. I mean, we've used those to excess in a good way.
Yeah. The EG67s, they work really well if you keep them dry and if you don't put any real weight on them.
We had that situation at, what was it, Balcar Surge, where people
Balcar
bought...
Ridge was where you guys had it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we had probably a couple of $100 of those grenades, and it rained almost, what, over an inch, something crazy like that. And every single one of those grenades completely got too wet to actually work.
Melted.
Yeah, and which was a giant waste of fucking money, like bad. That people were really pissed, but there's nothing they could do about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't designed to get that wet. No grenade is designed to get that wet. I bet there were a lot of duds that weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Should G&G make an HPA engine? I mean, why would they? They distribute Polar Star. Yeah, like they're already making money in the HPA market, and they wouldn't even have to make it. Thermals versus NVGs for night play. The answer is both. Yeah, some people were saying both. Yeah, the answer is both.
Oh, I think I have my next step coming up.
Uh-oh.
Do I have a health kit? I do.
So yeah, thermals versus NVGs. Thermals are very useful for weapon mounted. That's the number one thing for thermals, is they're the best weapon mounted option. If you're going with weapon mounted sighting solutions for nighttime, thermal is better than night vision weapon mounted. There you go.
Dude, this is not. Buddy. This is, what time is it? Okay.
We'll give it another 38 minutes.
Oh great! Yeah, that's just what I need.
Let's see. Top Shots 11 asks, what's worse, a cheater or someone who intentionally destroys your gear? Like, are you kidding me? Is that even a question? Like, is a cheater worse than someone who intentionally destroys your gear? Dude, like, no. I would rather have someone not call hits than intentionally destroy my shit any day of the week. Like, that's not even a contest. Like, whatever. If you don't call your hits, I'll keep shooting you. If you intentionally destroy my night vision, I'm out $1,200 unless I sue you. Like, not even a question.
I don't think I've ever even heard of somebody, like, choosing to destroy gear.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard of people, like, getting pissed off at a game and stomping people's rifles.
Oh, that's a great way to get your ass kicked. Just putting that one out there.
Yeah, well, of course, it was usually when the owners weren't there, because, you know, that's how things go. But
okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. I've got the chat questions pretty well caught up. Mem says, getting too drunk to play Downward Spiral engaged. Indeed. It will be very amusing.
Hey, you can tell Mem to bite me.
Okay.
Just thanks. Oh wait, so, I'm on live stream. Mem, bite me.
So we've got, have you played at SS before? If so, is it worth it? If you're in the area and you want an indoor CQB field, I mean, it's about as good as any other indoor CQB field I've been to. Can't complain about it in any way. Just indoor CQB really isn't usually my thing. So I can't really say as I would, you know, go... I'm not about to hop on a flight every weekend and go play at SS. Let's put it that way. Like, you know, if you like indoor CQB and you're in the area, yeah, sure. If you don't like indoor CQB, then I don't think it'll change your mind. Let's see, on a scale of 1 to fuck off, how much do you love me? That's Beefy Milsim asking that.
I love you,
dude.
Beefy.
Beefy, you're my man, Beefy. Op get fucking massive, my dude. What goggles do you prefer for prescription wear? Options for non-contact users. The ESS crossbows are really popular in our group right now. A video on those will be coming very shortly. Alright, I think we've got a couple more questions in here. I have an HPA setup and don't carry a secondary because I cannot get one reliable enough. I get a lot of flack for not having a secondary. What are your thoughts?
Milsim games, nobody runs a secondary except for pretty much the officer dudes, and even then, I've actually passed my pistol off to an officer before because he didn't have anything on him at the time. So, not running a secondary is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, who's giving you shit for not having a secondary? That seems really dumb. If your gun is tuned to the normal limits and you can use it with no minimum engagement distance, that's no different than getting shot with a pistol. I love how people act like HPA magically makes a gun hurt more. It doesn't. If you actually chrono them properly, it's the same joules as any other gun. It's this amazing thing called kinetic energy. Read your physics books, people. But yeah, no. If your gun is tuned to the appropriate energy limit and chronoed properly, there is absolutely no reason you should need a secondary, HPA or not. That's just really dumb, and people are dumb. Yeah, not pulling any punches on that one.
There's been a couple of references, by the way. I'd like to point out that the reference that you're about to see on the screen is actually Terminator. There's a Terminator reference right here, so just pointing that one out. Shit.
Waiting for the Terminator reference on my end. Oh, is it the police station?
Yeah.
Oh, the car. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I got you.
They do. This guy actually did some really cool references in them. I'll try to point them out as I can. They're few and far between, but there are some really good ones.
Yeah. Wasteland Armory asks, what's your thoughts on modifying a World War II impression kit for Omega? You could probably pull that off pretty convincingly. The main thing, though, is you won't want to actually make it look like a World War II kit fully, because the apocalypse in Omega took place in, like, 2050
actually,
or 20...
I have
What?
something for you. If you want to
What?
do an Omega kit that's the World War II kit, you can claim that your guy was doing, or like your family member or somebody was doing a World War II reenaction when the apocalypse happened, and so you kept you've been keeping the kit going the whole time.
I mean, the main thing I would do is I would build a character around someone who's like kind of insane and dresses like a World War II officer because they're kind of nuts. That would be pretty funny. I think that would work.
Shit.
Let's see. Any other good ones? Thoughts on Mac v SOG kit? Chop an RPD and do it. That's all I can say.
Agreed.
Yeah. Chop an RPD, wear some tiger stripes. Mac v SOG it up, baby. Who is the real house gamer? You or Dayton? Dayton and I met at SHOT Show, and we took shots, and we agreed to we agreed to joint custody of the words house and gamers in the name. So, you know, I am eHouse Gun Gamers, and he is Dayton from House Gamers, and we have agreed to a truce over whiskey. I feel that that was an amicable solution to everyone involved.
You guys are ridiculous.
Yes, well, that happens. ATAX versus Multicam, Patrick Pack asks. Well, one of those camos is currently in use by the U.S. military, and one of those camos, and one of those camos is currently in use by the Russians. So if you're trying to go for a Russian kit, then maybe that makes more sense. If you're trying to go for a NATO kit, then you're kind of stuck with Multicam. Personally, I like Multicam better in general, but ATAX is cool too. ATAX is real cool for gun paint.
Yeah, that looks really good. Oh, I am gonna die again. I'm 100% going to die again. I have 2 health. Oh!
Do it. Die. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Glorious.
Oh no.
Yeah, Pay Me No Mind says everything greater than Multicam. Well, I mean, I think Multicam's a pretty nifty camo, but I will say Tricolor Desert and M81 Woodland are the greatest things ever. So, you know, that's that.
I hate this.
Sturmgewehr Gaming asked, what do you consider taking Milsim too far? I would say taking Milsim too far is when you start wearing ranks and when you start wearing like real insignia and you're trying to act like you have this rank system and Airsoft makes you some kind of hard ass.
I got one for you, Eric.
Yeah.
That's shot number 4 or 5. I've lost count. I think if you're wearing a PT belt during a Milsim game, you're taking it a little too far.
I will say that PT belts are actually really good dead rags for Desert Fox events because they require high-vis colors for dead rags there.
Absolutely.
And the PT belt actually fits the bill really well.
For a kill rag, yes. I'm talking about wearing it like, I don't know, during your exercises before the game.
Here's a really interesting question from Guardian Wolf Echo. Can I speed soft at Milsim West? Like, I'll wear all the required stuff, but still speed soft. You can, but probably not for 40 hours.
Also, I'm pretty sure Josh Warren will incessantly make fun of you the entire time.
Not necessarily. The SYG guys went to the last Milsim West in California.
Really?
Yeah, the SYG guys went to the last Milsim West that was at Victor Air Force Base.
Nice. How did that work out?
They seem to have a good time, so I think it can work out. Here's the thing: when I'm stacked up on a door and I'm about to enter a room, I fucking wish I had some speed softers with me, because half of the hard-charging Milsim dudes are afraid of getting their cries dirty or something and don't want to enter rooms.
I just prefer to clear a room out the traditional way of clearing the room out, which I feel that speed
frag
softers
grenades?
Frag grenades. Liberal use of frag grenades. Excessive use of frag grenades.
I think that could bring Milsim and Speedsoft together. I think excessive use of frag grenades before entering a room really just pleases everybody.
Correct, because at the same time... alternatively, if you can't frag a room, tag a room. I feel like that's also a very good catchphrase.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I'm not having
Guardian
fun.
Wolf
I'm not
Echo
having fun anymore.
So Guardian Wolf Echo says, "Want to bet for Speed Softer 40 hours?" Yes, I do. I don't care how good of shape you're in. You are not going to be running continuously for 40 hours. You will need to rest sometime. That's just a fact. We've had people go to Milsim West games and think, I'm going to stay up the whole time. I'm going to run the whole time. It doesn't work. Your body has limits. You're not Terminator, as much as we all wish we were. But you will definitely be able to speed soft anytime you guys are moving to contact or anytime you guys are taking a building. That is when that will be incredibly useful, and I think you would have a really good time. I would recommend an Urban AO for trying that out, and I think that you would actually have a lot of fun with it.
I'm having trouble shooting. Oh, this sucks. I hope you're drinking too. Eric, are you drinking?
No, I'm not. I'm just watching you drink. I'm drinking water.
Fuck. Oh, it's Monday for you. That's fair. Oh, hold on. Are there any questions directed at me or no?
Any questions directed at you? I don't know. I'm gonna find a question that I think would be a good one for you. Oh shit! Hold on. This is a really good question I got on Instagram. This guy, Apex Arsenal, asked, tips for someone going to be an admin for the first time at a Milsim game.
Pack your flask.
Yeah, we did not say that. 5 Hour Energy should be in that flask.
Correct.
But yeah. But what I would say in regards to that is, oh my god, damn it. Basically, just go in and understand that as an admin, your #1 priority, whatever you're doing, your #1 priority is making the game go as smoothly as possible for as many players as possible.
You can't please everybody, but you can do your best to make the overall game fun.
Really, the main thing is, like, don't get pissed off, don't get down, try to keep a level head and a good attitude, and remember that you are there being a customer-facing representative of the game. You need to have a good attitude so that the players will have a good attitude. And if you don't do an effective job of policing players as well, then you're going to make a bad time for everybody. So you do need to be able to have the authority to put your foot down and make sure that people respect your word and respect your authority. And if someone's doing some, really douchey shit, stop them. That's all it takes. You gotta be committed to doing a good job and be ready to move a lot. Being an admin is not as lazy a position as a lot of people think it is. You will get your steps in. All right. You're gonna see. How are you feeling? Someone asked. Oh, they're asking you, Joe. That's a question for you.
Yeah, that's a question for me. I'm feeling like if I was in the apocalypse right now, I'd be very, very scared for my life. This sucks. This is why you don't drink and shoot, kids, ever. Fuck! No, I'm alive. Everything's fine.
Lutz asks a really good question. Why does Joe insist on using guns that are the same size as him rather than reasonably sized?
So, be reasonable, Lutz, because we all know that he's just jealous that I have a saw and he doesn't. He sold his last time I checked. But I have a habit of carrying airsoft guns that are maybe a little outside of my. It's not that I can't carry them. It's just they're as big as I am, so sometimes they can get a little unwieldy. That's where he's going with that.
All right, so we got another question here from Patrick Pack. What are your thoughts on Dutch the Hooligan? I've never met Dutch the Hooligan, so I can't say as I have any thoughts on the person. But what I can say is his content can be interesting in the way that it's advertised. Let's put it that way. I don't think I'm being unfair or unkind when I say that YouTube's new terms of service about clickbait, he's probably sweating a little bit. But I can't hate on him. It's what seems to work for him. Like I said, I don't know him in person. I've never met him. I've never played with him. I've heard different accounts from different people about him, so my opinion is pretty neutral, if that's what you were looking for. It's probably a pretty boring opinion, but that's about as spicy as I can get without, what I think is stepping into unfair hearsay territory.
That's fair. Shit.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm sure people have opinions of me based on what I put on the internet, and I'm sure not all those opinions are good. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt I would hope people give me.
Eric,
maybe that's a dick move.
I've met you in person, and I think you're a bastard.
Yeah, but yet here you are, drinking at my behest.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But it also doesn't take very much to get me to drink.
Yeah, true. Coldwater Regrets asks, thoughts on Bravo Company? If you're asking about Bravo Company machine, like the AR manufacturer, they make some dope shit, man. So, yeah, if you like dope AR shit, Bravo Company is great. Especially their foregrip. I really like their kind of canted gunfighter foregrip. That's a really good grip. Their pistol grips are really good as well for real ARs or gas blowback rifles. And, yeah, Bravo Company makes good shit. E-House, are you getting a cyborg leg or waiting for it to heal, Ryan M. asks. My ankle is doing pretty well, actually, now. I should be back onto the airsoft field in full force very shortly. And my surgical incision has healed very nicely, so I'm very happy about that.
So we may, well, how much time do you want to let the stream go for?
I don't know. How much longer do you want to go for? You want to finish this level?
Well, the problem is people have been paying attention. I've been sort of running in circles a little bit. I must have missed a key or a point somewhere, and I can't quite figure out where to go. So we're gonna give this like another maybe like 5 minutes or so, and if I can't make any progress, we're gonna
you gotta beat this level. You gotta beat this level.
I'll try.
If you don't beat this level in the next 10 minutes, you have to take another shot.
All right, 10 minutes. Start the timer. Asshole.
All right, start the timer. 8:20. You don't beat this level by 8:20, you have to take one more shot before you log on.
That's fine. All right. I probably missed something really easy. It doesn't help that I'm going full speed in a Doom mod, and you can move really fast. I gotta get across the level. That's what I gotta do there. Shit. How do I do that?
All right, a couple more Instagram questions. P3 Enger, I think it's supposed to be like Penger. Most regrettable airsoft purchase you guys
Star
have made.
M249 saw. Next question.
Ares M60. Yeah, so both of us are not fans of the Star Ares LMGs we've bought. Those were both fucking terrible.
Trash!
Yeah, they were really bad.
Can I go this way? No, but
Let's see. Nephew McFly asks, how to make battle sims / small size events more immersive for players. Number one thing for smaller events that I find helps people get more immersed is clear sense of what the objectives are and have like one or two really good role players.
Yeah, having people like be your staff / NPCs, like people that you can rely on to kind of push the direction of the game. It keeps the flow going and therefore makes the smaller games seem a lot bigger, is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, having good, like, commanding officers, quote, for the two teams, or however many teams you have for your smaller game, and having good NPCs. Wow, Joe, you really suck at this. What did you miss? You're lost.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I thought you beat this game before.
I did. It was not that long ago, but I think I remember getting stuck here last time. There's a key somewhere, and I don't know where the fuck it is. That's the problem.
Oh, wow, dude. This is probably real boring for these people to watch. I feel like you should take another shot to entertain them.
No, I'll take my ending shot if I hit that 10 minutes.
I don't know, man. I think that these people are getting pretty bored. What does the chat say?
I think the chat is entitled to their opinion, no matter how wrong that opinion is. I don't know, like, it's just dumb. I clearly missed a key or something. I have a yellow key, except I don't know where to go with it. Maybe I go back a little bit, see what happens.
I mean, one of our pet Canadians has said to drink.
Yes, the pet Canadians. Remember, if you die in Canada...
Yeah, Lady Potato says she feels like she's been lied to.
Oh, I feel like I will be talking to her after the chat ends in our channel. I think that's what I'll have some very strongly worded opinions for her.
Guardian Wolf Echo says drink the rest of the bottle. Mem says drain the bottle. Top Shot says with house.
You people
Patrick
are
Pack
awful.
says drink. Sturmgewehr says do a shot.
You
And Lady
people are
Fizz
terrible.
says
It's Monday night. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? You awful
Lutz
folks.
says he's bored.
All right, here, fine. You guys want to do this? We'll do this my way. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this my way. Fuck you. If we're gonna do this, eat my entire butthole. The stream's over. We're done. As soon as that goes, let me know so I can shut this off. Oh,
The stream's
God.
over. No.
Well, the visual aspect of the stream has ended. You
All right.
suck. I'm like 6 shots in right now, and my beer, and the fact that I've been drinking since like 2 p.m. Oh. Oh.
All right. So do we wanna do?
Give me a second, all right? Just give me a second. Let's take some questions. I want to hear people's before I take the shot. And so, if I take the shot and pass out, Eric can continue the stream. Carry on without me. Let me hear some questions. I want to hear people's thoughts on collecting airsoft, and how often do you buy and sell airsoft guns? When you buy a gun, do you keep it for a while? Or how many people in the chat are the type of people to buy an airsoft gun, use it for a couple of months, and then get bored and sell it for another gun? I'm curious to see how many of you do that, because we have a few people that do that in the group pretty regularly. I really don't want to do this shot. All right. Everybody at home, kids at home, join me, please. So we're
Democracy is beautiful, says
God.
Christian Sigs.
Yeah, fuck you, Sigs. Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy, hoi hoi hoi. That doesn't taste as bad because I can't taste my mouth very much anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Alright. Wow.
How you feeling,
God.
Joe?
So drunk. Oh, this is terrible. and like shitty whiskey drunk too, not even like good drunk.
Aw.
Oh. Alright, what else we got in the chat right now?
All right, so I'll answer. I'm gonna give it 3 more questions, and then we'll end this.
Okay.
All right, so Tiki says sobriety is for quitters. See, Tiki, you understand us.
He gets it.
We got some good answers to your question. I try to buy as often as possible and keep my airsoft gun because I only buy guns I love.
That's a good way of doing it.
Top Shots 11 asks, pimped AEG or HPA? This is actually a hot topic of discussion for a lot of people. A lot of people have really strong opinions on this. I personally think that HPA is the easier, more reliable way to achieve really high performance, but I'm sure that with good enough parts, you could build a really crazy AEG that competes with HPA, but I think HPA is a lot easier to do it with.
So from a science perspective of it, the whole thing with HPA is a consistent shot and a rapid, consistent shot. I think that's the biggest thing. Is even if you're on semi-automatic, the way that pneumatic system works in that chamber that allows air to build into it and build up pressure at, in between your trigger shots. I think it's. I don't know, dude. I think for cost-wise, you may not be able to. Well, maybe you can tell me because you know more of the sports than I do. I think for the amount of money you have to put into an AEG to get that consistent trigger pull, to get that consistent pressure behind the BB per shot rapidly, whether it's fully automatic or very quick semi-automatic, I think that the HPA system is cheaper up front to get that consistent shot.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think HPA is the easier way to go about getting really high performance, but there's also some insane AEG builds out there. So, of course, both are perfectly viable for gameplay, but I think HPA has a pretty marginal advantage of the max potential of the system, but a pretty sizable advantage of how well you can tune it without having to have a master's degree in Chinese engineering.
Yeah, there you go. Also, it's a little more. HPA tends to be a little bit more as an organism. You internalized. It's all the components are very simple. right? You remove your gearbox, you drop in your HPA engine, you run your hose, you run your regulator, you run your gas tank. If you start running AEG, ultimately you're mixing parts that maybe necessarily weren't meant to be mixed in the first place. So I think also long term, it's easier to get an HPA engine tuned and set to where you want it, as opposed to AEG where you're doing a lot of tweaking over a longer period of time. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I've got a really good question that someone asked on Instagram that I want to get, and it says, most annoying thing in Airsoft. And my personal most annoying thing in Airsoft is people who just take themselves too seriously. That's my opinion.
So I would say public forums. I would say Airsoft forums and certain Facebook groups. A lot of people saying and talking about things that they have never actually had any experience with, or it's chair softing. Chair softing is the thing I hate the most about airsofting.
But we all do it.
We all do it, but I hate it.
Yeah, well, I hate chair softing too, because that means I'm not out playing airsoft. But
right.
I would say my most annoying thing is just people who take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
That's just a thing in general in life. Like, chill out. You're not that cool.
You're playing BB Wars, you know?
Mem says the most annoying thing in Airsoft, in my opinion, is Eric. Well, you know what, Mem? You're not wrong.
17,000 people are watching Eric Babylon like a sociopath, so 70,000 people can't be wrong. By the way, for anybody who was with Mem on that one, screw you guys. I hate you. Just putting that one out there.
And I'll get one last question from the chat. This is Tesla X, and he says, I got a question. How long do your field owners usually take to give the rules? Because one field I have, they take 30 seconds, and the other they take 20 minutes. The thing with that is it totally depends on how the field is set up, what the player base is like, and what the rule set is. If you have a rule set that's really involved and you have a lot of players there who might not necessarily know the rules, you kind of have to give the longer, more in-depth rules briefing that could last 10 to 20 minutes. Or if you have a really regular player base and everyone knows the rules, then maybe you don't need to give a rules briefing really at all. I think the compromise between that is River City. If you've never been to the field, you have to attend a safety briefing. It's the same way at Ground Zero.
Yeah.
If you've never been to the field, you have to attend a safety briefing. But if you've been to the field at least once, then you don't need to attend the mandatory safety briefing. You just, there's obviously a game briefing of here's the game mode, here's what we're doing.
And a lot of times fields will also combine those two things together too. They'll run the safety briefing with the opening briefing, but it also, a big thing is the number of players too. If you have a smaller game, typically you can get people's attention a lot faster. You're not waiting for people to filter in and that kind of thing. I mean, it's also, you scale up too. If you get up to like big weekend games, like if somebody does a holiday weekend game where you have a lot of people off from school and that kind of thing that want to come to those games, if you're trying to give a safety briefing to 200 people, it's going to take a lot longer. For sure. And if you have like Eric said, a more complex rule set, or in the particular thing of, hey, here's some extra rules about our field, it's going to take a couple of minutes longer to do. But Eric, I would say average is 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd say that's relatively average for an in-depth briefing. Yeah. And on that note, I think we're a call to stream. How are you feeling, Joe?
I'm drunk. I am 100%.
He's still able to
drunk.
Talk. He's still over.
Apparently I screwed up. But hey, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I got stuck on that one level. I feel kind of bad about that, but I hope you enjoyed the gameplay that I did do. Check out this mod. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Like I said, it's you can get it off of GZ Doom, any of the forums on there. If you just type in Ashes 2063, you'll find it there. I'm going to promote this a little bit because I really do love this game. The guys that did it were just amazing. Just a fantastic crew. It's all available for free. There are mods to it as well. There's an FAL mod.
I'll put a link to it in the description.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do it. Again, we turned down the volume a little bit, but because we were doing our talking, the music is very atmospheric. The harder levels, the levels further on get really kind of creepy. It really gives off that really cool classic Fallout vibe a little bit to it. If you're a fan of that series, I would check out this mod if you have an opportunity to. And a big shout out to the ZD Doom and the GZ Doom crew for putting together. For making this happen, because they've been working on that emulator for Doom for probably 15-20 years now. So props to you guys for making a great system and a great game.
All right.
Cool. I think we're all set. Thank you very much.
Call tonight.
Tomorrow, tomorrow we're going to be doing, Eric's going to be doing his review of Desolation 2.
Tomorrow we're going to do the Desolation 2 review. That'll be pretty great. So keep an eye out for that. If you
liked this style of game streaming where we're just kind of streaming games and answering questions and that kind of thing, drop a comment, let us know. We don't do this one too often. I have been wanting to play this game for a long time. Typically, we don't do this while I'm hammered, so I'm a little more coherent and a little less crappy while playing.
And a little less talky. We're trying to end, Joe.
You give your ending, I'm giving mine. I just sat and played games for an hour and a half.
I gave the exit.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.